Okay, this is a typical basil plant after 18 days of growth. This is my basil tower garden after 18 days of growth. As you can see, my tower is going way bigger than it's supposed to be for just 18 days of growth. Well, that's because these plants aren't just 18 days old, but they also aren't transplants that I just washed the roots off from like I did in this video for my tomatoes. These are their own individual plants, and this is extremely beneficial if you're trying to monocrop a tower garden and fill it with your favorite tasting basil plants. Because if you've grown basil before, especially if you've grown it from many different seeds, you've probably noticed that all basil plants taste a little bit different. Some are gonna be really minty and really intense, while others are much more mild and sweeter. And they could be the exact same variety of like Genovese basils that could be growing right next to each other. This is because plants, just like humans, all have genetics, and our genetics carry on what our ancestors left us, what the previous generation left us. And that's true for seeds as well. So how would we fill a tower garden with all of the same tasting and same growing plant? Well, this is where the beauty of cloning from cuttings comes in. So let me teach you exactly what I did to fill my tower garden and get this growth fast. Now, to get your clones, there really is a better way than what I did. I just went to the store and I bought some more bushy looking basil plants. But really the best way to do this is if you already have a basil plant growing that you love the flavor profile of, and you just love this plant, and you can take cuttings from that plant and fill a tower garden with that one basil plant. Really though, a basil plant that's this size would give you more than enough cuttings to fill an entire 20 plant tower garden. Because when we look for cuttings, we're really just looking for a node. And this is where branches grow out from a stem. You can follow the main stem up to several nodes that grow off of the main stem. And then the nodes that grow off the main stem even start to develop their own nodes. So what we're looking for here is a node that we can cut that has a lot of new growth happening above the node. So we'll cut this node at a 45-degree angle. If you like, at this point, you can actually remove all of the larger leaves. They're completely redundant. We don't want them anymore. They're not going to give us new roots. What we want is the plant to make new roots and shoot those roots through the stem. And to encourage new roots, we need new growth. So I'm going to take each one of these cuttings, and like I said, one of these plants can make several cuttings. So here I have Genovese basil, I have Italian basil, and Thai basil. I also have a mint plant that I'm going to make cuttings from. So I'm just going to put mine right into a rock wool cube and place it all the way down to the bottom of the cube. I'm going to do that for every one of these cuttings, and I'm going to put them in a germination tray. Now there are two things with cloning that you really have to keep a close eye on to get good clones. First is humidity. Clones need very high humidity for the first few days at least. This means you're going to want like a germination station with a humidity dome to regulate your humidity. The other thing that clones need is about twice the photosynthetically active radiation, or the light that the plant uses for photosynthesis. Because what we're actually trying to do right now is encourage more growth, fast. So I actually have a light bar installed inside of this germination station, which I'm just going to leave on for 24 hours, and we're going to let this set for about a week. Okay, so 7 days have passed. Let's come back and check out our clones. And look at all these roots that have grown through the bottom of this rock wall. Every single one of these, it would seem, has taken and is now its own brand new plant ready to go into a tower garden.
Because I immediately put it in a high humidity environment, I didn't lose any old leaves. I could have easily just taken all these old leaves off and allowed just the new growth to come in. And that probably would have sped up the cloning process a little bit. So now what I'm going to do, right before I put them all in the tower garden, is I'm going to top all these plants. So what topping them does, I'm going to remove, first off, let me tell you what it is. You're going to go in here to where your new growth is and just take that new growth coming right out the middle. Just take that top right off. You know, this one, see right there, I'm just going to pluck that whole thing. So you can just, so for this one, I could take just this very top right here. There you go. You just take that little top bit right off, and that is going to tell the plant to stop growing just straight up on one stem, and it's going to split it off to make two and create a more bushy plant. So this is a good way to take a clone that maybe doesn't have a ton of growth on it and turn it into something a lot more bushy. So I'm gonna go through and top these. And then we're gonna put them in the tower garden.
So I'm gonna plant these swirling up the tower garden based on their variety. Obviously, if we're just monocropping just Genovese or Italian basil or just Thai basil, it doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna try to make this look pretty. They really didn't take immediately. I didn't know if they were gonna make it or not for the first few days. They started wilting over and they started losing leaves. And if you watched my last video, you know just how windy it is here, so that was something they had to deal with as well. But after about 6 days in the garden, I started to notice new growth. I started to notice they were perking up. And after 2 weeks, they started to look more like this. They were bushing out. They were getting much, much larger. Now about 2.5 weeks in, and here we are. And you might be noticing this is not all basil. There are mustard greens I also planted on this. That's because I made this garden with 2 extensions on it. So it's not just 20 plants, but I cloned thinking I was just doing a regular tower garden with just 20 plants. So I made 20 clones to plant in a regular tower garden while I actually had a tower garden prepared for 28 plants. So I had to fill in those extra spots, and I happen to have some mustard greens starting. They grow really fast, so I just popped them right into this garden and they kind of caught up. So try it. Go out to your herb garden, take cuttings of your favorite herbs, put them in some water, watch them grow, and then plant them in your garden. And you'll continue their delicious lineage on. And definitely, as long as you can continue to clone and take cuttings of these plants, they'll continue to fill your life with their delicious leaves. And don't forget about the Summer of Growth, where if you're looking for a tower garden and you pick one up through my affiliate links, I'm gonna send you my full Master Your Tower Garden course for free. I wanna get you started off on the right foot if you purchase a tower garden. There's a lot to know, and I would love to be the person to help walk you through it. Don't forget to check out all of the free guides and content at humblegrowthhydroponics.com. It's a great way to get started. And until the next video, let's grow together.